Smickety TV. The following was recorded before Saturday's 2017 Minnesota Vikings prediction Game 8. Because of lack of availability on memory space on VidMe, I could not post this video before Saturday's predictions. Now that I have available space, I am able to post this video. Hopefully, I will be getting verification soon, and I won't have to worry about 3 gigabyte max loading per week on VidMe. Cross my fingers, and let's see if it works. Now on to the video. Hey everyone, with the Cleveland game coming up, I thought I'd go back to memory lane back in December of 1980. The final game for the Minnesota Vikings regular season was against the Cleveland Browns. And the Vikings were losing this game at the end of the game. Cleveland was trying to drain the clock, trying to get a first down. They weren't able to get a first down, so they drained the clock, and they opted for a punt return here. And the Vikings, I think, were losing like 23-20 or something like that. So I was watching this game with my family on my biological mother's side. The whole family thing's just very complicated on what to say, but my biological mother died before this game, like 3 years before, when I was 7 years old. So I was spending time with my biological mother's side of the family, my mom, and my dad now, and the whole family was there watching this game. And it was a very frustrating game. And we'll pause it here right now, but we'll pause this game right now here. Anyways, so leading up to this moment right here, we were watching the game and trying to celebrate Christmas at the same time. It was a very frustrating game. I remember that. And there wasn't that much time left. I think at this point there was like maybe 15 seconds left or something like that. And it looked really bleak. This was at the very first stadium, the Minnesota Stadium, or Minnesota Vikings. I think it was called the Met Stadium, or Metropolitan Stadium, or whatever. It was an outdoor stadium. You can see in the background, snow on the ground. Bud Grant was the coach. This was old-style football. This is back during the day when football was basically blue-collar football. I mean, you look at... I was like watching this clip before doing this video, and I'm like, my God, everything is so low quality. When you watch a football game now, you see, like, down below, score headlines and stats and stuff like that running down below, and there'd be the current score on the screen. You would even see how many seconds is left on the game here, and nothing is on here. This was just hard-nosed, classic football. This was near the end of an era when football was blue-collar, and then I think in like around the mid-'80s, things started becoming more glitzy, I guess you could say. So, but this was an era where, you know, coaches were coaches. They were hard-nosed. Players respected them. There was like a relationship amongst coaches. I mean, there was professionalism, yes. But there was also a camaraderie with these people that you never see. I don't think you see it as much nowadays with free agency and stuff like that. You don't see the bonding and the camaraderie as you do in these past clips. That's my nostalgic side of things. Anyways, I think the Vikings had like about 15 seconds left in the game here. And I'm just like, can the Vikings even catch up? I was like 10 years old. I was with my brothers, and my sister was there, and my aunt and uncle were there, and my uncle's like, well, if they can bring it down the field a little bit more, and then at the end throw a Hail Mary pass into the end zone, maybe they'll win it if they catch it. And I'm like, Hail Mary? What the hell is a Hail Mary? I was 10 years old. I didn't know what a Hail Mary pass was. And my uncle explained to me, well, it's basically a really long, deep pass, and you throw it up, and you hope that your wide receivers that you send down there, you send like about 3 or 4 down there, you hope that one of them catch it and throw and bring it into the end zone. I'm like, really? They're going to be able to do that? And he's like, well, that doesn't really happen all too well. The possibilities is very low and that, but it was very exciting to watch. And we were all like, the whole family was like watching this game, wondering if the Vikings could even catch up. And I think we all had our doubts that they weren't going to catch up. So anyways, here's their first play after the punt. On the 20-yard line, Kramer goes back for a quick pass. I don't know who that wide receiver is, but he basically caught it real quick and then lateraled it back to Ted Brown here, who's the running back for the Minnesota Vikings. And they got a lot of yardage on this play here. And he got out of bounds. And we were like, oh my God, how many seconds is left in this game? And I think it was like 5 seconds left in this game here. There's Ted Brown right there. And he was only the second year. I thought he was around the league for longer than that, but that was only his second year in the league. So this is for the NFC Central Championship too here. And so we were all getting really excited. I think we're all standing up in the room, and we're like, oh my God, there's only 5 seconds. They have to go for the Hail Mary pass here. And I'm just like, oh, and then there's the wide receivers up there. And then Tommy throws the ball. 0 seconds. And then Ahmad Rashad just catches that ball like it was nothing. And they catch it right here, and they win. And I just remember the whole house, everybody in the house was like screaming like crazy. We just couldn't believe that was successful. I couldn't believe it. Nobody could believe it. We were screaming and yelling and hugging just like everybody else here at the game. And as you can tell, some people have left the game early, and they missed a great game if you left early. But the Vikings did something quite amazing to win the game and to get into the NFC, to win the NFC Central and become the champs. And then they went off into the playoffs. I don't know if they lost in the first round or if they lost in the second, but they didn't make it to the Super Bowl that year, obviously. But it was so crazy watching this, and everybody's just going crazy. The players, the coaches, except for the Cleveland Browns. They're the ones that look really dejected. But it was one of the craziest games I've ever seen. And watching this game, I think this was the game that got me hooked on football because of just the sheer euphoria you felt when you watched Ahmad Rashad catch that ball. It was crazy. When you watch that play over, I think it was kind of deflected, and he just kind of like reached his hand out. Here's the replay. Let's see what happens. All right, Tommy just chucks it up. And then there's the ball. It's going to come down. It gets knocked around a bit. And then Ahmad just brings his hand out like that and brings it in. And it's just so matter of fact. He just stretches out his hand, catches it, walks into the end zone, touchdown, end of the game. It was just completely amazing. And this is one of the reasons why Tommy Kramer was nicknamed 2-Minute Tommy at the end of his career, because he had a lot of comebacks like this where he won the game in the last 2 minutes. That's just amazing what Ahmad did. It's just so matter of fact when you watch that play. I mean, it's just like he goes on in, and then they finally come in and kick the extra field goal here. But man, it was one of those games that put me in sheer euphoria. And I think this is the game that got me hooked on football, hooked on the Vikings. The field goal got blocked, but it didn't really matter. The Vikings won like 28-23 or something like that, or 26-23. Whatever the case, the game was over. And yeah, this was a great moment in Vikings history. And now they play the Cleveland Browns in London. I just thought I'd throw in some nostalgia there and get you prepped up for the Cleveland game. I will talk to you guys on Saturday. Bye.